Good afternoon, everybody. All right, so we are working on guard passing this week. So yesterday we worked our knee cut pass and opposite side knee cut pass, or long step pass, or staple pass, or whatever. So today we're going to do the gi version of those same two passes. A lot of similarities, but there are definitely some differences when we have the grips available for us. So we're starting off inside our partner's guard. We're getting into our combat base, and from here we're going to do our knee cut pass first. I'm going to go to this side. So when I do this, I'm going to do the exact same thing I did I'm going to do the exact same thing I did for no gi. My hand goes to the hip here. Now remember, it's important. We're not using our extending our thumb here. If something gets turned the wrong direction and our hand is like this, and our thumb gets turned back, it's one finger against the entire body in all likelihood. So we want to kind of keep our hands, we want to keep our fingers safe by keeping them together as often as possible. We don't want to have like one or two digits that are exposed that's going to be easy to be bent in the wrong direction. So from here, my hand goes to the hip. I'm driving my knee across. Remember, using my elbow here to flare if I need it. I'm driving my knee across here, and from this position. So I need to get my outside leg over the top, so I'm going to step with this leg. My hand is sliding up into the armpit here, and now here comes our first difference with gi versus no gi. With gi, I have the sleeve to hold on to right here. So I can pull up like a lawnmower, or once again, we can go to our elbow. So we have the option of sleeve or elbow here. From here, we're stepping over and sliding through. Now notice, my chest is forward here. When I slide through, my chest remains forward. I don't sit back here, because if I sit back, my partner sits up and I lose my position. So I always want to make sure my head is forward. That'll keep my center of gravity moving forward. That'll make it harder for me to go back. When I slide through, I don't want to be way back. I can't stress that enough. Leaning forward. From here, I'm going to square back up. So my knee comes back, switch my feet, and end up in side control. So that's the first way of doing it. We have one extra option here on our pass. So knee comes up, hand comes to the side. I'm finding the sleeve. I'm sliding up here, and I'm holding on to the sleeve this time. So instead of going to the underhook here, I can grab a hold of the lapel. And I'm going to do the exact same thing, but this time, or not the exact same thing. My elbow comes across here, and now as I slide through, I'm lifting with this, and I'm driving my chest in. It's a more uncomfortable, because like I can basically put a lot of pressure on her chest here as I'm sliding through. I come back up here. I want to wrap this arm, get my other hand free, come down into my side control position. So little differences between gi and no gi, and then with gi, you have more options as far as grips and everything go for your pass. With no gi, tend to want to go right underneath the elbow when we're passing through. Hand goes up into the armpit, getting that underhook. With gi, it's a little bit different. We can grab a hold of the elbow, we can grab a hold of the sleeve, we can go for the underhook, or we can grab the lapel. So lots of different options on the knee cut, the knee cut pass. So we want to make sure that we're at least aware of the other options that we have, because the more options you have, honestly, the higher chance of you being able to finish your pass, because we have different variations and ways of finishing.
Yeah. And so, when you go for the lapel, do you actually grab the sleeve first?
So it's kind of like all at the same time, but the idea being is like we want to be close to the sleeve as this knee starts to drive across, because you don't want to have your knee all the way over and then start looking for this arm, because if I hide it, then you're really out of position.
Okay. So it's definitely one movement and then here.
So hold on, come back. bring your foot up into. So turn your elbow down and in, and your body weight should rest over the top of your elbow. That's much better. Good. Good. All right. So that is our. Scoot that once. Farther, please. So that is our knee cut pass. So the next one is going to be our staple slash long step slash opposite side knee cut pass. So from here, from our combat base here, I'm going to start driving my leg over. So if you remember with the knee cut, or with the, long step slash staple slash opposite side knee cut pass, we went under here for Nogi, and then as I drove my knee over the top of hers, I'm looking to establish my my arm underneath her head. This time, I don't have to go under. I can actually grab a hold of the pants. And this is the really nice thing about this pass, is that with this pass in particular, if I have a strong grip on her knee here, I'm basically using my arm to take her leg out of the fight, which is awesome. Most of the time, legs are gonna be stronger than the arms. But in this position here, with me punching the knee, if I stiff arm, if I basically hold on to material with her knee here, and I stiff arm, I basically extend my arm and lock out my elbow. It's now structure against strength of her leg, or basically her leg and her hip, because that's what she's going to be trying to move. So if I have a nice grip here on my hand, I then come over the knee. I'm going underneath her head here. I then back step, nice big back step here, number 2. And I still land. I still have my foot. My free foot here, if you can see in the mirror, is still blocking her leg. I have a hold of her knee here instead of going for my underhook, and I can put my head down here to block her. Now, this doesn't seem like a very defensible position, but the truth is she's kind of stuck. Come up. Is it gives me a lot of control here, and I'm not really I don't have a whole lot of points of contact with her, but I'm doing a very good job of controlling her. This is obviously not something I need to stick at for a long time. From here, I'm now going to drive forward. So I'm pushing off this back foot. I'm driving my shoulder into Chelsea's jaw, and my free leg here, I'm going to bring my knee up into her armpit shoulder area. So I'm driving through here, and I come up on top. So it's a very strong pass, and just that little difference of going from underneath the leg to the grabbing the inside of the knee makes all the difference in the world in this pass. It's a really good pass. No-gi is really, really good gi. So one more time, we get up into our combat base. I establish my grip. I drive my knee. I bring my arm underneath her head. I'm stepping over, nice big back step here, keeping my knee active on my toes. Driving in here and squaring up on top. So that's our staple pass slash opposite side knee cut pass. Which way did you want to go?
Let's go that way.
Okay. Inside my knee. Up, thumb up. Good.
Do I establish my knee here before I step through?
So this is a quick pass.
Okay.
So I've been showing it in pieces, but in all honesty, like when you do it, you're going to do it really fast. You want me to show you what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right. So it's a quick pass. Like I do it slow to kind of show, but when we do this, I'm going to slam my arm around your head, so it's going to you be prepared.
I'm prepared.
Okay. Right? Like it's not doom, doom, doom. It's
You're
just
not
go.
taking it in steps.
Just
You're
go.
Just really.
Yep. Just go. Better. You see how different it is?
Yeah.
Holding on with this versus this?
Yeah.
Thumb up versus thumb down. You did thumb down second time. Just as you did it, you just did it thumb down. Did you notice a difference on the?
I feel like I didn't have as good of a grip, and plus as I turned, it like is very weak.
Yep.
This keeps it strong the whole time.
Better. All right, very good. So that is our gi version of the knee cut pass and the opposite side cut, or opposite side or staple or long step pass. Thank you guys very much. We are here Monday through Thursday at 5 o'clock for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We are here on Fridays at 2 for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We also have a yoga stream available. We do on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon. Thank you guys very much for coming today. Chelsea?
Please make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Heart and Soul BJJ. We also have a Discord chat. The link is in the description. Please join that, especially if you are interested in doing some live training on your own, like on your video. And Professor Chris would be more than happy to watch you and help go over everything for you. Starting next week, we are going to be changing up the schedule just a little bit, starting jiu-jitsu at 2 o'clock every day. For the for the foreseeable future, instead of doing it on Mondays and Wednesdays at 5, we're just going to start doing it at 2 p.m.
Awesome. Thank you guys for joining us today. Let's call it. Woos.